V'zimrat Yah Vayehi li Yeshua Ozi 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 V'zimrat Yah Vayehi li Yeshua. Boker Tov, good morning. Hold on one second. My phone is on sound. It is a weird kind of morning. I thought it was going to be pouring. And of course, I'm looking out and the sun is shining. And so that is a good feeling because yesterday it was definitely the heaviness of the air was terrible and the storm last night. But you know what? Sometimes we also just need a storm. And so here we are, next Parsha, but we are in this week of Tisha B'Av, the remembering of the destruction, remembering of all of the hard times that our people have faced. And so with that, tomorrow morning, this is just a holy announcement. Tomorrow morning, our prayer connection will be for Tisha B'Av at 9:30. And so we hope that you will be able to be with us to remember and to lift up and to continue to push forward. So that will be tomorrow at 9:30. I know sometimes the chanting of Lamentations or Eicha is done in the evening, but we're going to do it in the morning tomorrow. So stay tuned for that and tune in if you are able. And of course, if you're not able, you could always watch it after it's live broadcasted. And so you always have the opportunity even to go back and to listen to it or to find deeper meaning in it a second time around. So that will be for tomorrow. It is also Shabbat Nachamu, the idea of remembering with comfort. And so we are also in the week of Ve'et Chanan, which is this week's Torah portion in the book of Devarim, the book of words, or the last book of Torah. So something about Ve'et Chanan is it contains some of the most known or most familiar parts of our liturgy, which is Shema Ve'ahavta and the Ten Commandments. So imagine those three heavy hitters in 1 week's Parsha. So it's pretty remarkable. But there's also a hidden verse, which is, of course, I forgot the verse number. I didn't write it down. I'm going to say, I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it was 4:9 or 4:19, whatever, something like that. It says, only take heed to yourself and guard your soul carefully, lest you forget the things your eyes have seen. And so it feels meaningful coming in the days around Tisha B'Av and the beginning of Shabbat Nachamu, the Shabbat of comfort. This teaching talks about not forgetting what you've seen, this sacred work of remembering the good. And so Hakarat HaTov, the piece of gratitude, which we always touch upon all year long, but after weeks of remembering failures and wanderings and loss, And Moses pausing and giving the people a different kind of instruction. He says those words, I repeat them again, which is, only take heed to yourself and guard your soul carefully, lest you forget the things your eyes have seen. At first, it sounds like Moses is simply saying to the people, don't forget the miracles. But perhaps he's saying something deeper, which is he's reminding them that forgetting isn't only about history, it's about perspective. I'm sure we've all noticed how easily we remember what went wrong. A criticism can stay with us, I don't know, for years. A disappointment can replay in our minds over and over and over again. A difficult season can overshadow everything that surrounds it. Yet the moments of kindness, the unexpected blessing, the person who shows up, the ordinary Tuesday when everything just is simply all right, those are the things we often first forget. Moses knows about the human heart. Before the Jews enter the new chapter, he tells them, guard your soul. Not only from danger, but guard your soul from forgetting. In this week, this Shabbat of Nachamu, the Shabbat or the Sabbath of comfort, after tomorrow, or tonight into tomorrow, excuse me. One more. Nope, no more. After tonight into tomorrow's deepest day of mourning on our calendar, the prophet Isaiah begins with these words, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami, comfort, comfort my people. Comfort does not erase grief. It doesn't rewrite the past. It simply reminds us that sorrow is not the only story that we carry, because hope belongs there too. Perhaps that's what Moses is teaching. Don't forget the wilderness. Don't forget the manna, which was the food, either. Don't forget the challenges. Don't forget the people who stood beside you. Don't forget the tears that you shed. Don't forget the moments that made you laugh again, because they all are held together. All of what was difficult and challenging, and don't forget the moments that made you laugh again. Because our souls need both memory and gratitude. One keeps us honest and one keeps us hopeful. Gratitude is not pretending that life is perfect. It's refusing to let pain become the only thing that we remember. Today is Andrea's 38th birthday. We spent 20 of her birthdays together, and 2 of the most recent without. And so, as painful as it is, I think the last thing I said is most important. To refuse to let pain become the only thing that we remember. And I think that hits home. I think that when we look back, okay, for us, we're learning Torah. So if we look back on the past week, but if we look back on even as in our own personal lives, but as a people, when we look back, Moses reminds us, like, not just to see the difficult moments, but also to remind ourselves of how far we've come, or remind ourselves of the times that were spent, which were miraculous, or just good, or just not bad, even. So when we look back on the past week, or the past lifetime, or the time we spent with someone, or the situations that we've encountered and felt, let us try this week, as we approach Shabbat. We're almost there. We're more than halfway there. What is one moment of goodness that we don't want to forget? And name it. And who is one person whose kindness deserves to be remembered? I think that we all have people in our lives that just radiate kindness all the time, no matter what? Yes. Do they complain? Yes. Do they, we all judge people, whatever. Have a bad day, have a good day, be snarky, be silly, whatever it is. But there are some people in this world that just exude kindness. And that deserves to be remembered also. Even in the most challenging times, even in the most difficult situations, there are people. So your work is to name a moment of goodness you don't want to forget, and also name a person whose kindness deserves to be remembered. Moses reminds us that forgetting is not only about losing information. Sometimes it's about losing sight of the blessings that have carried us this far. As we said last week, our tradition never asks us to choose between remembering and hoping. And this week adds another layer that says our tradition also teaches us what to remember. Not only our wounds, but our blessings. Not only the moments that broke us, but the people and the presence that carried us through. May we guard our souls carefully. May we remember not only the hardship that shaped us, but the kindness that sustained us. And may the comfort of the coming Shabbat Nachamu help us notice that quiet blessings have been with us all the time. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, Pat, for my sneeze that's been waiting to come out since 6 a.m. Thank you for joining me this morning. Elisa and Bet, so crazy you're here in Brooklyn. I'm happy, Elisa, that you're here. And you got to go to your concert last night and it didn't get totally stormed out. Anne and Simon and Suze, whoever else is watching that hasn't checked in, those of you that will listen later, let us continue to remind ourselves to think about the past, hold on to what's good, not forget what wasn't great, but reminding ourselves that we don't need to choose between remembering and hoping, and not but, and tradition teaches us what to remember, what to hold on to, who deserves the kindness award, and what is one moment of goodness you don't want to forget. We are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 9:30 for Tisha B'Av, the day of Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Thank you, Martine, for being here. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai. See you tomorrow, everybody. Have a good day.